America is drowning in corruption. But don't take my word for it. Just look at the numbers. Public trust in government is at an all-time low. Corporate money controls our elections, and politicians are getting richer while the average American struggles to make ends meet. Today, we break down the statistics that prove corruption is rising in the U.S. and how it's affecting you. Let's start with the people's trust in government, or rather, the lack of it. According to Gallup, as of 2024, only 16% of Americans trust the federal government to do what's right. That's down from 77% in 1964. And it's not just the federal government. Trust in local and state governments has also fallen below 50% for the first time in history. More and more Americans believe their leaders serve the highest bidder, not the public. Corruption isn't just a political issue, it's an economic crisis. According to the Global Financial Integrity Report, corruption and fraud cost the U.S. economy over $2.6 trillion per year. That's nearly 10% of America's GDP. For every dollar spent on public services, a significant portion is lost to fraud, waste, and abuse. And the average taxpayer is the one footing the bill. In 2023 alone, corporate lobbyists spent over $4 billion influencing laws in Washington, D.C. That's more than any other country in the world. Here's how that money was spent. And here's the problem. For every $1 corporations spend on lobbying, they receive an average of $760 in government subsidies, tax breaks, and favorable legislation. While the average American's wealth has barely grown in the past 2 decades, politicians are getting richer at an unprecedented rate. The average net worth of a U.S. senator is now $3.2 million. That's over 30 times higher than the median U.S. household wealth of $97,300. If you're wondering why laws keep favoring the wealthy, it's because the wealthy are the ones writing them. According to Transparency International, America now ranks 24th in the world for corruption perception, down from 16th place in 2017. What does that mean? It means that the U.S. is now seen as more corrupt than countries like France, Canada, and Japan. In fact, the U.S. has seen one of the sharpest declines of any developed nation in the past decade. It's no surprise that corruption is eroding democracy. In 2024, 95% of all political donations came from just 1% of the U.S. population. The average American has almost zero influence on policy compared to the ultra-wealthy and corporate interests. Corruption is not just a political issue, it's an economic and social crisis. It's costing the U.S. trillions, enriching politicians and corporations, and leaving regular Americans behind. But here's the thing, corruption only thrives in silence. If you have information on government fraud, political corruption, or corporate misconduct, visit sunlight.org. We provide a secure, anonymous platform for whistleblowers to expose the truth. Like this video, follow our page, and share this with everyone you know. If we don't fight back, corruption will only keep getting worse.